This week I'm showing you the updated Škoda Karoq, and it has some cool features, like being able to remove all of the back seats. This is an unusual feature to have in any car. And after a week of driving this with my family, I'm pitching this as an all-rounder. It's large enough for the fam and the odd roadie, but small enough to handle tight city streets. Easy enough for the oldies to understand, but its design should still appeal to younger drivers. But enough chatting, let me show you. There are only two models for the Karoq, the range-topping Sportline and this, the Style. At the time of filming this, the Style has a drive-away price of just under 43 grand, so no huge additional on-road costs. The standard features are good, like 18-inch alloy wheels, adaptive cruise control, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and reversing camera. Our Karoq has been fitted with metallic paint and a premium pack, and that adds a hefty $12,000 to the price tag. I mean, you get quite a bit in that premium pack, but damn, I thought that was a typo at first. With the optional add-ons, the Karoq is starting to get a little bit expensive, especially considering that you can pick up a nicely spec'd Volkswagen Tiguan for less, and as tested here, it's even more expensive than the Audi Q3. This is a stylish looking vehicle, and you can see that it shares a lot of DNA with its cousins, the Volkswagen Tiguan and Cupra Ateca. I really like the toothy grille and the wide air intake vent at the front. It just breaks it up and creates a very interesting nose. The crisp lines running the length of the body and these cool cutaways at the base of the doors in the rear just makes it look young and sharp. The LED daytime running lights make this pop out, and I really like the sequential rear indicator lights. I really like that you can get some bold colour choices in this range. The orange has been particularly easy to see in a car park. The interior feels more cohesive than its cousins though, and it's here that the Karoq outshines them. It immediately feels nice to be in and looks well executed. And although the dash looks a bit practical, the mixed materials stop it looking plain. The front feels pretty good to be in. I like that you've got the tall vents and they hug the screen, and there's a good use of space with this storage cubby up front because the storage isn't huge up here. You've got quite a shallow glove box and middle console and a drink holder in each door and two cup holders. I do like though that the armrest is height adjustable and slides forward, which adds to the comfort. You also get a little cubby on the side of the driver's side, which, you know, you can put your wallet and keys and things. And you have a wireless charging pad up front for your phone. The only issue I have with it is that the cubby design makes it awkward to get your phone in and out of, or items if they slip back to the end. So you almost have to put your gear into drive just so you can fit your hand in and just sort of like, you know, try and get it out. If for whatever reason you can't get the charging going on the charging pad, you have two USB-C ports up here, but again, you've got this trailing cable situation, which just irks me when you're at this price point. Something too about this little cubby here where the cup holders are. There's two little spots that I'm not 100% sure what they're for. One is quite tall and skinny, and I don't know, I've been using it as lipstick holder, seems to fit. And the other, which I assume it's for your key because the key just slots perfectly in there. Other than that, I don't know what you'd use them for. The seats are very comfortable, but they should be so great because they are a part of that expensive premium pack. The synthetic leather feels really supple. They're electric and they have 3-position memory function. I also like that they're heated because it means the front passengers should be very comfortable on a long journey. It's been very easy to connect to the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and my iPhone 8 Plus, it was a seamless fit. I do like too that the 10-inch digital instrument panel is customizable and easy to read, so it's always a plus. The steering wheel feels really nice under your hands. It's thick and I really like the flat bottom of it. It just gives it a bit of a sporty feel. And I've really enjoyed the heated steering wheel function. But again, you need the premium pack to get that. I'm partial to a traditional gear shifter. I really like how chunky this feels in your hand, and the gear release button is where you expect it to be. I also really like that this control panel is sloped and the buttons are quite large, so it's quite easy to navigate when you're on the road, which makes it a perfect spot to put the park assist function and the auto start stop function too. The back row feels okay to be in. There's plenty of headroom, but definitely could be better with legroom, and that's something to consider if you often have taller adults or teenage passengers. I do like the squared off door apertures though, because it makes it easy to get in and out without hitting your head. Always practical if you have to buckle in a kid. Also, the taller windowsills and the narrower windows meant that my 5-year-old didn't get as much of a view as what he usually likes, but I did really like that the windows behind the C-pillar are quite large because it helps with visibility. You have directional air vents in the middle console, but no fan or climate control. And storage is a little bit thin back here. You've got map pockets, a drink holder, and 2 cup holders in this middle, I'd say the middle seat, because it's not really an armrest. It's a bit too low to be an armrest, but that's it for storage. However, you do have a cool feature, which is a part of the premium Packmind, but the outboard seats are heated, which is always plus. The back seats are very well padded, which is comfortable, but they don't have a lot of under thigh support. So I wonder how comfortable adults will be on a longer journey. I do think it's a bit disappointing in a price point like this that there's no USB ports back here either. You do have a 12-volt port in case you needed to charge a device, but that's it. The back seat has a 40-20-40 split fold, but you can, like I've mentioned before, completely remove them or fold them flat for more storage. You have ISOFIX mounts on the outboard seats plus 3 top tether child seat mounts. You'd probably be more comfortable if you only had 2 child seats back here, but it was pretty easy to fit my harness booster. It was a little bit tough getting enough space for the front passengers when a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat was installed. The boot is the clear winner for use of space. It's large and deep and you can pack quite a bit of gear in there. I also really like the practical features of it. You've got hooks everywhere, a netting system to stop things sliding about. You also have a really cool cargo blind that hooks up into the lid, which means when you open the lid, it lifts it up and away, making it that much easier to load things in. Another cool feature, which to be honest you don't see often, is this reversible cargo mat liner. One side's carpet and the other a more durable fabric of, I would guess, what, plastic, rubber, and underneath that, a space saver spare tire. The style only has one engine available, but has enough punch that it feels responsive and plenty of power when you go up a hill. The only thing that I really struggled with this week was keeping a consistent speed. I felt like on the open road I was towing the accelerator and brake a lot more than I usually do. The 8-speed auto transmission makes gear changing feel very supple, and the suspension is soft and forgiving, making for a rather smooth ride. But beware corners, because there's a fair bit of roll in this. Passengers will notice that more than the driver though. I did notice too that the cabin can get quite loud with wind noise. Not loud enough that you have to, yell over it, but you're not going to forget that it's there, which is a real shame. It was pretty easy to park this. It's a really good size and the reversing camera and front and rear parking sensors feel very accurate. The optional 360-degree camera and park assist functions were also very handy this week. The official combined fuel cycle is 6.5 litres per 100 Ks and I achieved 7.2 litres per 100 Ks, which I thought was really good given this size and the fact that it's a turbo. But expect that figure to be a lot higher if you live in the city. The Karoq comes with a good standard safety features list, like AEB with pedestrian detection, forward collision warning, front and rear parking sensors, and reversing camera, to name a few. But crucially, unlike most SUVs, rear cross traffic alert and blind spot monitoring are not available at all on this grade, nor is lane keeping assistance fitted as standard. It's a bit of an anomaly for a family SUV and honestly, a bit perplexing. This has all the usual airbags, including a driver's knee airbag. It also has a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating, but it was done from testing in 2017. The Karoq comes with a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is pretty good for the class. You can pre-purchase 5 or 7-year cap price servicing, and the 7-year option averages $342 per service, which is very competitive for this class. Servicing intervals are reasonable at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. The Škoda Karoq style has been really nice to hop into every day. It drives well, and the practicality of the boot space helps to soften the disappointment of the at times squishy back seat. I think this will definitely suit a small family best, and I would have liked the optional safety features to just be included as standard. And the pricey optional premium pack feels a little bit cheeky given that the seats aren't even fully leather. But I do like that even with all those add-ons, it's still a nicely packaged family SUV for under 60 grand. So this gets an 8 out of 10 from me. My son really liked the colour of this one, and although it was a bit small on the back for him, he did seem content enough, so he gave it a 7 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out the full review at the Cars Guide site. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you next week.